All right, this is a fantastic question. So, what is it with all of these handheld radios? Why do I have so many? Well, probably the biggest reason is it's not just me on the boat. There are 3 of us on the boat. So we started with, not this one, these. We had 3 of these radios. These are just generic family radio things that like kids and families roam around Disney World with. Hey, where are you? Blah, blah, blah. These are great. We got these primarily for buzzing around shore when we don't have cell signals, and for doing that kind of normal family stuff. We also used it for anchoring the boat. They're not quite waterproof, and one of them did die because of water, but they're still great. So if we're like roaming around shore with other families and they have these, then we have these too. We were in, I forget where we were. We were in Beaufort, North Carolina, and we were anchoring the boat, and we were using the same channel as a local restaurant. So these are really, really popular. So the restaurant was very kind and let us continue anchoring without it being a problem. So after that, we got these. These are similar, but these use the multiple use radio frequency stuff. So these are just for on the water, on land. We primarily use these for anchoring back and forth. And if we're roaming on shore, we'll use these to keep in touch, and if we're in an area where our cell phones don't work. Let's see, what else do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3. These are just handheld VHF radios for marine stuff, so just regular marine radios. So we have 1, 2, 3. We just have 3. Yeah, just 3. So these are just regular marine VHF radios, same as you'd find anywhere else. I want to get another one. I want to get a real tiny one that I can carry in the dinghy and roam on shore with. So we primarily use these when we're in the dinghy, or if I want to have another radio up in the cockpit with me, if I'm roaming around the boat or whatnot. We also have a remote to the big radio that we use for that. What else do we have? I should be pulling these off so we can like see. So these are the family radio systems. These are the multiple use. These are very, very not popular. So if you have one of these, the MURS, multiple use radio service, chances are no one will be using it. So you can like not have to worry about other people using the same frequency and you're like stepping over each other. What else do we have? This is just a toy ham radio. Not really a toy. It's a really cool ham radio. Pretty awesome. And what else do we have? This is another little tiny ham radio. This works on fewer frequencies, and it's very, very weak. It's primarily used for, I have a little ham radio hotspot that will let me basically talk over the internet and reconnect to the ham radio stuff that's far away. So if we're like a bazillion miles from anyone and I want to like chat with people, I can use that, and it'll like use the internet as a shortcut to land and then pop out other things there. What else do we have? This is another ham radio. So we've got that. And this one is sort of like an everything radio. I'm working on it. The hope is that eventually this will be able to do what all of these can do. But that's taking time. It's difficult to program. What else do we have? This is a remote to one of our built-in radios over on the other side, so I can use it like if I'm up and we're doing an overnight and I want to play with the ham radio and have it like use the actual radio, big antenna, I can use this up in the cockpit and it uses Bluetooth to get there. And then lastly, I found, God help me, I found an ancient CB radio. So if we're like next to a highway, we can like turn this on and listen to the truckers go by. It was like $15. So I just got that for fun. So that's just for fun. We've got a couple of ham radios that are really useful for checking into like emergency nets and paying attention to that kind of stuff. Those are like that. And then the everything radio that I'm programming as we go. And then we have, and remember there's 3 of us. So we have 1, 2, 3 handheld marine VHF radios. And then we have Oop, that's the remote to the other radio. And then we have the 1, 2 less than popular MURS radios that we primarily use for anchoring, but also use on shore if we're going to be at any great distance. And then we have our original idea for that was the family radio service, which we keep around because if you're roaming an island with other families, a lot of them carry those too. So a whole lot of radios for different things and multiples of them because there's 3 of us on the boat. Anyway, that's what the deal is with all the radios. And we hang them on the spice rack because it's a convenient spot to be. Anyway, hope everyone's having a great day. Buy lots of radios. You can have your own collection. And radios are very, very important when you are on a boat roaming around. So we got more radios over here. Anyway, hope everyone's having a good day. And I will chat with you later. Bye.